Hey, and welcome to Lemon Drops, brought to you by the Smoky Lemon crew. Well, we're talking branding, marketing, and everything in between. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's drop in. Welcome along to our next edition of Lemon Drops on Smoky Lemon's podcast channel. We've got our studio manager with us today, Mandy G, the other Mandy. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
So Mandy G is our studio manager, so you keep us all on task.
Try to.
Try to. Give it your best shots. We're a bunch of creatives, eh? But Mandy G also has quite an extensive knowledge when it comes to social media marketing. So we thought we'd get Mandy in the studio this morning and pick her brains a little bit. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, all good.
So let's start off by talking about post types and content formats. So can you walk us through the main types of social media posts, like, you know, what they all are?
So it obviously depends on the platform, but the main ones for New Plymouth businesses that we work with
or Taranaki.
Yeah, true. The three main ones, which is LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram. And so for those, you're really looking at things like stories, which only stay up for 24 hours, posts, which is an image and it could have a graphic on it as well, static. You've got your videos, which come in reel format if it's Instagram or Facebook. And then Facebook also have the option for video, and LinkedIn has video. And then there's carousels. And the main two ones that we try and push are carousels and video formats, because they're the ones that the algorithms are pushing at the moment.
So what are the carousels?
So the carousels are multiple image posts, and they're awesome for little bite-sized pieces for education mainly.
So you might have like 5 or 6 photos.
Well, up to like they keep increasing how many you can have.
How many can you have?
Oh man, I'm not up to date with that one because they've just changed it recently, but I'm sure it's over 10 now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So what we do here at Smoky Lemon is we'll put a bookend at the start and the
That's right,
end
for our one.
for our branding. Yeah.
And we use those for showcasing some of the work that we've done for clients. So our ones aren't necessarily used so much for the education, although we do little snippets like that. But yeah, it's great to just put a little, like, few words on one with an image, and it's like really easy to just read it and see and read it and see as you're scrolling along. And the algorithm is really pushing those at the moment just as much as videos, actually.
So little snackable bites.
Yeah. And so if you don't like editing all the videos and stuff, it's a really easy way to change the kind of posts that you do.
How does each format serve its different purpose? Like, what are the strengths in terms of engagement and reach?
Well, the main things are to be aware of is who your customer is that you're trying to serve and trying to educate, and what the purposes of what you're trying to achieve, I guess, with each post. And so, like, they all have their own purpose. Video kind of covers all of them. You can do like entertainment for
all day long.
Like all of it. Like you can do educational, you can do entertainment, and you can do the pushing your products and your services and things to let people know about them. And video just kind of covers all of that, really.
And I suppose if you shot like one long form video, then you can turn that into short form as well.
Oh, it's like what we call repurposing. Absolute brilliant way of doing things and save you time with when you're planning. You can take one long form piece and then break it down into an image, a carousel, and reels and like snippets for different things. And, you know, that's why people do YouTube now, because they just do a massive video, pop it on YouTube, and then cut bits.
Yeah, nice,
for their other social channels.
So how do you decide which post type for what particular campaign?
Yeah, well, we sort of dive deep for that one.
Yeah.
Our stuff is really strategy based. So we make sure that, once again, you work backwards from what the outcome is that you want to achieve, and then you work backwards. So, is it you need to let people know about a new product or a new service? how's the best way to deliver that message, and then you sort of look at each avenue as to which one's the best. Yeah, it's not a simple little answer.
There's no style.
No. I mean, I could spend all day going, oh, now what are we going to do this? And, you know, oh, we could add this and this, and then, you know, like you could just go crazy with that.
Are there any trends you're seeing so far for this year?
Just mainly the carousel one. That's the main one that I've really noticed. They're really pushing that now on Instagram. Like, it just seems to, like, especially because you can put a piece of music with it. It is almost like a little mini video, but you get to control the pace at which it goes.
So when you say they're really controlling that at Instagram,
Meta,
that's who we're talking about when we say they.
The algorithm. Yeah. LinkedIn's very different, and a lot of our clients are B2B clients, so that's business to business, and obviously there's a totally different strategy for that, but for the e-commerce and for the product-based businesses, and even some of the service-based business like the health and wellness industry, the beauty industry, they're really like Instagram, you know, heavy kind of users. So those kind of ones where you can have a beautiful photo but with a little call to action on them.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
So let's now delve into like content creation and content mix. So what are content pillars and content themes, and why are they important to balance your social media strategy?
Yeah. So these are kind of words that get thrown around marketing agencies and people don't really understand what they are, but to use layman's terms, I guess, to really explain in a simple way, a pillar for us would be, what type of post is it? Are you trying to educate? Are you entertaining? Or is it something that you need to be inspiring, you know, with the work that you're doing, and you want people to be like, wow, that's amazing, you know? Or are you trying to have a call to action for one of your sales or products that you're sort of wanting to tell them about? So that's pillars. And then the next kind of thing we think about when we're creating our content is the themes and topics. So what is it that your business needs to tell people about? Maybe sit down, write 15 to 20 different topics. I want to give an example. Like, for example, Smoky Lemon offers a whole range of marketing things. We do websites, we do social media, we do, you know, and you can write all of these different things and they can be your topics.
Right.
So then you can break those topics down into smaller bite-sized things that then you create. So we've probably got about 6 main services that we offer, and then we can talk about those in detail, but you just do a little chunk of that with each post so that you're not bombarding people.
So your topics are your pillars at the end of the day.
Your pillars are your type of post.
Yep.
And then your themes and topics are
different.
What what your subject. So you've got your pillars and your subjects.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So then how do you help businesses identify their content pillars?
The pillars we just use over everybody, and there's probably about 10 different, if you really wanted to break it down into types of posts that you do. But the main 3 are education, entertainment, and your promotional.
Okay.
And then we have extra ones like the inspiring ones, and, you know, depending what kind of business you might have your own little pillar of something that you really just want to keep repeating and letting people know about. But they're the main ones. And then how do we work out what type of subject it is? Yeah. So we sort of have to pick the brains of the business owners, because they're the ones that know their business themselves. So we work with you when we do your social media.
Now, Mans, our big chief, she talks a lot about tofu, mofu, and bofu.
Yeah.
So can you run us through what that is?
Well, that's talking about funnels, and that's another word that gets thrown around. Like, what the hell is a funnel?
Yeah.
You know? Talk about this shape, and then what does that mean? So tofu, bofu, and mofu is the top of the funnel.
Is tofu.
Tofu, T-O-F-U, top of the funnel.
Tofu.
And then, and then middle and bottom, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create the content so it covers people no matter where they are in the journey of working with you. So they might already be at the bottom and they're an established client. They've used you before perhaps, or bought from you before. And so they're already in here. So they just want to know like your updates, you know, like, oh, they've got this new product or a new staff member, or,
This
you know,
is the Bofu.
this is the Bofu.
Yeah,
like they're already there, that you just want to nurture them.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle,
The Mofu.
the Mofu. I hate saying those.
You can easily say that wrong.
You know, they're almost at the decision of being with you, but maybe they just need a sale or just a little hook to bring you in, so that you've got to create content that is for those people that are in that journey. They kind of heard about you or been recommended to you, but you want to just drive them down a little bit further into the funnel.
Okay.
And then of course there's the top, which
Tofu.
tofu, which is they really might not have heard about you. They're seeing a post for the first time and things like that. So yeah, just educating them about who you are and what you do.
That's what we do at the Tofu. Okay. What tips do you have for creating content that's both engaging and consistently on brand?
So the thing that I always recommend, and definitely now because the algorithm's pushing it too, is just be real. Like, show yourself, show your stuff, show what you do.
It's almost like guerrilla type, isn't it? Like it's raw.
It's so the opposite of what happened when Instagram
Like the
got
polished
big.
videos.
Yeah. And let's spend thousands and thousands on models and, you know, do all of the, you know, get really expensive camera equipment and all that. It's totally changed now, where people are just wanting to see who you are and recognize you and be in your space. And I always have that saying, say it 100 times a day, people buy from people.
Yes.
So, you know, if they don't know who you are, then they're not gonna.
And it's that I can never say that word. Familiarity as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what social media does.
Yeah. Because I guess if you see a reel and then you think, well, I'm interested in that product, and you go into the business to then see that person from the post or whatever.
It's like, you know, TV, when you have a famous person that you watch like every night on, you know, Shorty Street, for example, or something, like back in the day.
I still watch Shorty Street.
Do you?
Yeah. Still there, hanging in there.
Great example for me then. So, like, you know, and if you met them in real life, you'd almost feel like you knew them.
Yes, yeah. But they're
actors, but you're not.
Yeah, that's right.
They will actually get to know who you are and want to buy from you.
But it's that instant connection.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's now talk about, because you're big on batching and scheduling and tools, because we're all about trying to save time for local business.
Who's got time?
Exactly, especially if you're like a 2 or 3 man band or all-woman band or person bands, you know, like.
Yeah.
So what's your tools or tricks for batching content?
Well, thankfully, Meta has finally put lots of thought and effort into their Meta Business Suite, which is completely free. If you've got a business account, then you'll be able to have access to
That's how you manage your page through there.
Yeah, and you can schedule Instagram and Facebook both through that. Set up a month, set up a week, have a day where you plan out what you're going to do, take your videos and photos, write your copy, pop it into there. There are paid platforms as well. We use a paid one here, and that gives our clients access to that as well. But you don't have to.
The beauty about that paid platform, though, is it schedules for you too, right?
Yes, but so does Meta.
Okay, so you can schedule posts.
You just do it, and then on the day and time that it says that it's going to go, you don't have to go in and do it.
So this is that batch content you're talking about.
Yeah, and batch means like create lots at the same time. So
like cookies.
Yeah, that's right. You don't just make one cookie.
No.
We don't have time to make a cookie every single day.
Yeah. So batching content is.
That's how we save time, and that's how you should too.
What about? I suppose that kind of helps for businesses that struggle with the regular pace of updating and things as well.
Yeah, and also like the algorithm loves consistency. So if you are on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday, or like if you're just doing 2 a week on a Tuesday and a Thursday or whatever it is, if you keep doing that, the algorithm will go, oh, they're posting really consistently. I'm going to show their
Right.
post to other people because
they're consistent.
they're consistent.
So there's no particular day or time that works better than others. It's just the consistency trumps that.
There are.
Yeah.
Because we are more social on social media with certain times. But from my experience, if you're creating good content, it does stick around. So
anyway,
I would just say, don't concentrate so much on trying to learn the science of when to post.
Yep.
I'd say spend the time to create good content and post regularly.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Good tips there. Okay. And now let's talk about hashtags. Let's talk about hashtags. hashtag.
Yeah.
So they can be pretty confusing, but most posts have a couple of hashtags at the bottom. Why?
Well, the change has happened where nobody searches on hashtags anymore.
No.
I don't go in and go, I'm into some gardening tips. Hashtag gardening tips.
You just type in gardening tips, wouldn't you?
You would. Yeah, that's what the hashtags are doing now. They are teaching the algorithm what your post is about.
Right.
So they know who to show it to.
So it's more for the science.
So niche down into, like, are you trying to reach the Taranaki community? Taranaki like no other.
Yeah.
Are you trying to reach a business specific target? Put that in Facebook, 1 or 2 hashtags tops.
Really?
Tops.
Because people are quite hashtag happy sometimes, aren't they?
The other thing is, though, is people, because Instagram and Facebook are linked now, people are just posting, like, we do that too. We have one post and it goes on to 2 platforms. And then you just have what's good for Instagram, right? And so Instagram likes a few more hashtags. Well, Facebook's going to get that as well.
Okay,
so, people are using a few more on Facebook.
Because they're often posting at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah. Is there like a hashtag research we should know about? Like how do you approach hashtag research?
I have a little rule of thumb when I do hashtags, and there's, once again, how we talked about the pillars, how we've got 3 different types of pillars that we mainly do. Well, there's 3 different types of hashtags that I recommend you do. So one is kind of like your niche. One is kind of where you are and where your audience is that you want to see it.
As in, like, could you give us an example?
Like, for us, we're a marketing agency.
Yes.
Hashtag marketing agency, hashtag websites.
Yeah.
That's our niche of who we're trying to reach, and we're trying to reach the Taranaki audience. So Taranaki, hashtag Taranaki.
Is it worth doing, like, because we're on Devon Street, is it worth doing hashtag Devon Street? Or
no.
Your location of the business, not so much?
Not so much.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely the regions and the cities.
Yeah.
And then the other thing would be what your particular post is about.
Yeah.
So just relevant to that one post that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'd say maybe pick 2 of each.
Okay.
And leave it at that.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Okay. What about popular industry hashtags? For example, I did a podcast a while ago with a couple of influential women in town. Hashtag International Women's Day. Are they relevant?
Yeah, they're relevant.
Yeah.
And that would be the third one, which is, what is your post about?
Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so trending are important as well.
Yeah, relevant stuff to what's happening that day. First day of summer.
Yeah.
It's seasonal or specific to one day.
New brand drop.
Yeah. National Donut Day.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a donut day? Okay, all right. So let's move on now to talk about user-generated content.
Yeah.
And community. So user-generated content is often referred to as UGC.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So it's another one of those buzz.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's another really awesome way of saving time.
Okay. How does that work then?
Other people create the content for you.
Okay. So
and you just post what they create.
So how does that actually...
So there's a few different ways. You can do paid partnerships where you pay a content creator and then they create the video and they post it along with you, and together you've got your names together and it will say underneath paid partnership.
Right, like it's a collab.
Yeah. And the reason why that works is because they've got a massive audience, and that's why you're paying them, because that money's going towards having more eyes see.
So it exposes you more. Yeah.
And they already trust that person.
Yes.
And so it's even more so influential on them.
How do you go about finding those people?
Oh, there's agencies, but also like just go on and see what's happening on Insta, because like
so if it was a subject on, let's say, marketing for Smoky Lemon,
hashtag search, that's another great way. But they'll come up on your feed as recommended ones.
Okay,
you'll see them if you start, if they change the algorithm to be like more of your industry.
It'll pop up.
Yeah.
So it's more about looking at what else is coming up in your stream too.
Yeah. And there's a lot of content creators out there, and different ones have different pools. But the other way of doing UGC is you might contact somebody that has already bought your product, and then you could offer them some more product or whatever, and
for a testimonial or something.
Yeah. And then they send you the video, and then you post it on your social media.
Yeah. And as part of the deal, they should be sharing it back onto theirs too.
You can have different agreements, and it's up to each influencer as to what they want to do. Yeah.
What's the best way to encourage your audience to create and share content about your brand? Like, is it like, if you share this, you go on the draw to win something? Or like, what is the best way?
Yeah, well, there's lots of different ways. But my thing is, like, if you're going to do a competition or something like that, you want to be running some ads at the same time.
Right.
So if you're trying to grow your audience,
by doing a like and share type
you're not going to grow it so much by hashtags now.
Okay, yeah.
So you've got to do those kind of ones along with the paid advertising campaign.
That backs up a generic bit of you as your company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So paid, organic together equals more growth and more people entering your competitions and things like that and seeing your posts.
Which we do for quite a few clients here at Smoky Lemon.
We do.
FYI. Okay, visual identity and consistency. Consistency is huge, isn't it? Because we touched on this before. To keep up with the algorithms, for Facebook to like you and keep putting your content out to people, consistency is king.
Yeah.
How important is that and visual identity across social media?
Yeah.
Like, what are some practical ways we can maintain it?
A visual thing, like if you go and have a look at some of Smoky Lemon stuff, visually we've got our brand colours and they are across all of the things, but also our staff, you know, they're part of our brand, how we talk, you know, what you want to do is get across your personality, and so people can, like, brand is not just colours and logos.
Sure, yeah.
Or fonts.
Yeah. It's what makes you the place that you are.
I always, when I'm trying to explain what a brand is to somebody, I always say, what does somebody else think about your brand? Because it's other people's opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what your brand is.
That's right. They're the people that ultimately you want to spend money with you. Yeah. Common mistakes you see people make, businesses make with their social media?
Yeah. So I've been working with social media for 5 years specifically. And one of the biggest things that I see would be that people aren't knowing how to talk.
Okay. In what way?
A lot of people copying and pasting ChatGPT these days, and it sounds very ChatGPT.
Okay.
Basically, it doesn't sound like them. We use ChatGPT a lot in our business, a lot of AI for a whole heap of stuff that we do. But what we do is we use it as a prompter.
Yes.
And then we take that and then we go, oh, that's a good idea. We'll talk about that. And then we'll write it ourselves. So that, and
so direct copying and pasting from ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's probably a big mistake that I see. The other one would be that they keep saying, do this, do that, call to action all the time, bombarding people, buy from us, and that's all of the words, blah, 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 buy from us, call me, contact me, DM me, phone us, and if you're creating educational type pieces,
no CTA, no call to action.
Don't put a call to action.
Okay.
Like, just give value.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So because where's the call to action on that is often something that's bending around, but not all posts are designed for that.
That's
yeah.
And especially entertainment ones, you definitely wouldn't put a call to action on that.
Yeah, like whack it down the bottom there. Yeah.
By the way, call us.
Yeah. So, some businesses do their own social media.
Yeah.
And absolutely we encourage that. Like, I know your business more than you.
Yeah, that's right.
But, if you've got the time and things like that. But from your experience, what are some of the biggest challenges businesses face when managing their own social media?
Yeah, that's an easy one for me to answer, because obviously I have done social media for businesses for a long time, but the hardest thing when I'm even working with a client, so that's me doing it, but they've hired me because they've found it too hard, is filming themselves.
Being on the camera,
setting up the camera. Do they do it this way? Do I do it this way? You know, like what settings is it supposed to have? You know, what do they say? My thing is just be ready and be planned, and then do as many takes as it needs. And the more you do them, the more comfortable you'll get. Like,
and these days, if your phone's good enough quality, you don't actually need like a full-on camera.
Absolutely. Yep. I've done photo shoots where I've leant it up against books or whatever.
Your phone.
Cans of drink.
No one's going to see that, but
that's right.
Yeah. And just touching on that, Mandy, you mentioned before about horizontal or vertical, like it's always a thing.
Yeah.
What is the rule of thumb with that?
Well, for YouTube, I would say landscape, which is this way, and then for everything else,
vertical. So Facebook and
portrait.
Well,
vertical. It is vertical.
It is vertical. Yeah. Do you know how I remember it? Because horizontal or I call it landscape portrait. Landscape because it's the land, like,
and horizontal because it's the horizon.
Exactly. Yeah. So for YouTube, horizontal landscape,
yes,
and vertical for Facebook and Insta, and TikTok, and all those other ones.
Yep. And LinkedIn is fine with either. Actually, they don't mind too much.
If you do shoot with a camera and it's you shoot it, is it 4K? Then you can crop things down.
You can.
Yeah. But it's more faff at the other end.
Yeah, you've got to have editing software to really get that if you're wanting to get reels out of it, which are the long until you know.
Okay, so what's your advice for overcoming like creative ruts or lack of resources for businesses
for when they're creating their social media? I would say stick to the basics and go, what if I was the client, what do I want to be seeing or hearing about?
Because it's like you don't need a whole brainstorm session over it sometimes. Like it could just be...
That's right.
Arriving at work in the morning, a little video of yourself unlocking the door.
Yeah.
Like, here we are.
Great for stories. Great for stories doing that kind of stuff. But generally, when we do other types of posts, we try to have a purpose behind them.
Yeah, for sure. Any misconceptions about social media marketing that you often have to correct clients about?
Sometimes they think that if they just put something up, that it will be good.
Like the one thing.
Yeah, you know how like we encourage people, just put something up, just start, you know, which is great for beginners.
Which is the road I started to go down before and you steered me away. Yeah.
But I say just try and have a purpose behind each post.
Okay, so don't just put random stuff up.
Don't just put random stuff. Have a thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I mean, it should be easy. You know your business inside and out. You can talk about it all day. But
what if there's like a morning tea shout or something? Is that random stuff to put up?
That's great.
That's okay.
Well, once again, you're telling people something.
Culture. Yeah,
and team culture, who your team are, what you're celebrating, and something that's great, and that you are celebrating your staff or whatever it is that you're, you know, acknowledging. So it's educating people and, you know.
But post with purpose.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So random's good as long as it's got a purpose.
Okay. Okay, so we're just about done, Mandy. But what's one small change that can make a big difference in businesses' social media presence? Like, just what's your one takeaway?
I would say definitely we talked about consistency before with how often we post. The other consistent thing that I always like to say is have a style.
Okay.
So we talked about branding and visual things. My thing would be have your posts recognizable as being new.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So that people can instantly, when they see you come up, they know.
Like how we bookend everything with our colours and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be that you have a particular room or a place or a person with uniforms, can be that kind of thing. For Instagram grids, it's really nice to see a cohesive look because although it's not so important these days as it used to be, but having that colour scheme, look and feel, photography style, video style, like those
Keep
kind
it
of things.
consistent.
Yeah, don't just try different stuff and have like a graphic here that's these colors and fonts and then have this kind of video that's like really way out and then like try and think about what your business style and your business personality is and then try and showcase that.
Okay. All right. So, well, we really appreciate your insight and some really good tips there for businesses to pick up on. And we're happy if you're able to run your own social media. That's brilliant. However, in this time and age, do we put a CTA in here, Mandy?
Oh, wow.
Shall we?
I don't know. Is it just educational?
We can manage your social media here at Smoky Lemon.
Yeah, we've got a team that are... We've got photographers, videographers, we've got a marketing strategist, and we've got a wonderful content writer here that can talk in your tone of voice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we are happy too. We do have some packages, but today wasn't about trying to sell that to you. But we'd be remiss to not pop it in the end there. If you're a little overwhelmed and you want a hand, feel free to reach out to us at Smoky Lemon. But we appreciate your time and thank you for coming on Lemon Drops today. Yeah.
Usually behind the camera.
I know. It's a bit different for you, isn't it? Yeah. So thanks for listening and we look forward to sharing our next instalment with you on Lemon Drops. Ka kite anō.